Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Julia. My pronouns are they, them, and I go by Julicious a lot on social media. I'm in the process of kind of transitioning from Julicious to Nitney Knits, because my new business is called Nitney Knits and Needlework. Mostly needlework in my life this year so far, which makes me sad. But they're just, I wish there were 48 hours in a day. There are not. If you're new here, welcome. I've noticed a slight uptick in subscribers, and I really appreciate that. I really appreciate you. And returning viewers, I love you so much. Thank you. It means so much to me that you choose to come and hang out here in my space, in my little corner of YouTube, because there are just so many people to watch, right? And so many talented people and who do beautiful work, and I get overwhelmed by it sometimes. So it just, the fact that out of all of that you're choosing to be here, thank you. I appreciate it. I have a lot to talk about. I thought that coming back in 2 weeks after my previous video would be a little bit soon, a little bit light on content, but I've got a whole list of things to talk to you about today on my little, one of my many notebooks. I've got whips, I've got Happy Mail, I've got a little bit of news about knitting, some plans for the rest of the month, and I can talk about some books. So let's move into it, eh? So whips. I am participating in Full Coverage February this year, which is kind of the baby of Colette the Highway Stitcher. And I have only 3 full coverage whips. So my plan was to do the first 3 weeks of February, 1 week dedicated to each of my full coverage projects. And then the last week of February, I will do my best to get work done on my Whip Go pieces. By the seat of my pants, as usual. And so far, I'm actually pretty pleased. Oh, and I have I had a SAF, a start and a finish. I think I'll show that first. So Heather, is her name Heather? Link is my homeboy. Hosts swaps pretty much all year. And some of them are kind of intensive, and some of them are, well, not intensive, but you know, like some require a little more time and effort than others. And I needed something that was pretty bare bones, pretty low key, something I didn't have to think about too hard, because I'm back to school and I wish there were 48 hours in a day. There are not. Anyway, I am participating in an ATC swap for Artist Trading Card. And what we do is you're given a prompt. This month's prompt, or this started in January and I'm mailing in a few weeks. The prompt was, or the theme rather, was the year you were born. Stitch on a little like 2" by 3" card or mount it on the card. You could mount it on the card as well. That's what I'm going to do. Something that represents something from the year you were born. And I was born in 1982. And what I ended up doing was I found on Etsy, and I don't remember. You'll find it in the description box below. This person designs tiny, full coverage movie posters. Like they recreate movie posters in cross stitch in miniature. And they had one for E.T., which is a film that was released in 1982. And I stitched it, and to get it a little bit bigger, I stitched this on some 11 count Aida with, it's all called for in DMC, 3 strands of the cotton over 1. And look at that. I'm so chuffed with how that turned out. And it fit with the full coverage February theme. So, hurrah. So with this, all I have to do is mount this on a card, put the information on the back of the card, put it in an envelope, and stick it in the mail. That's all I have to do. The artist trading card swaps are meant to be accessible to everyone. So if you don't necessarily have the budget to participate in a larger swap, this is great. I will happily do this again. I'm showing you because I have no idea who my swap partner is. It's all blind. So yeah, that was fun. That only took me like, the only reason this took me like 3.5 days to stitch because I have other stuff. You know, I have other responsibilities, and stitching time is at a premium sometimes. So there's that, and then the first one of my official full coverage whips I pulled out, just because I hadn't stitched on it in a while, is my Quick Stitch Iris, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to move this over here, and I'm going to try, no promises, I'm going to try to put a little image right here of what it looked like when I showed it to you last time, so you can get a good idea. I want to say it was under 1,000 stitches. It was probably around 800 stitches. Most of that was done on the weekend, but I did sit down with it almost every day. But the bulk of the stitching was on a Saturday and a Sunday evening. So I'm enjoying it a lot. I am liking the iris is looking more like an iris. And yeah, so this piece is also on my WhipGo board. It's on my WhipGo board twice. I would like to finish this page this year. So you will see this again. And then, so now we have my big Mamba Jamba. My Gamer by Medusa Dollmaker. Oh, by the way, this is either a 25 or a 28 count. I cannot remember. Lugana. Stitched 1/1 full cross. Get with the program, Julia. This is a project that I am stitching for my love, for my partner, Josh. And last year in December, I finished the top row, all the top row of pages. So I'm moving down to the second row this year. And the last time you saw this, I was grumpy because I had discovered that on the first page of the second row, I was going to be able to stitch this little piranha plant. And that got me excited. So I counted, I stitched a little bit of the gray just because I felt like that was the virtuous thing to do. And then I counted down to where the piranha plant is. And I had made a mistake in counting, excuse me. It's not a video with me if I don't burp. That's just one of the truths of the universe. Anyway, the bottom half of the black outline I was stitching of the piranha plant was somewhere I had counted down too far. And so I knew I was going to have to do some frogging, and it was really frustrating. And so obviously, because I screwed up, this project had to go sit in the naughty corner and think about what it had done, right? But it was time to pull this out for full coverage February. And so I made myself sit down. It took me 5 minutes to find the problem and frog it. 5 minutes. This set time out for a month for a problem that I solved in 5 minutes. Anyway, good news is that we are back on track. And this piranha plant is not done yet. It is confetti hell, but oh my goodness, look at it. I'm going to put something behind here. Look at it. That's a lot of stitching. So I'm going to keep working on this in the full coverage February slot until probably Sunday morning, and then I'm going to switch. But this is going to be dedicated 25 minutes a day stitching, so you'll see it frequently, hopefully, if I don't make any more stupid mistakes. So did I say this is 25 count Lugana stitched 1 over 1 full cross? Okay. All right. I have talked to you about E.T. and Quick Stitch Iris and the Gamer, and now I can talk to you about a new start that I had. One of the new starts that I had. I need to slow down. It's making me anxious. Someone, I forget who, it might have been Jessie of Jessie Marie Does Stuff. Lunar New Year just happened, and there was a stitch along for something that has projects that have dragons on them, because we are in the Lunar New Year of the Dragon. And I wanted to participate. I had been wanting to stitch on this since last year, but I had no new starts. And so I started Tea Time Companion by Brittany of Ingleside Imaginarium. And I got this with all of the Treenway silk. There was a Treenway silk pack that came out at Market last year for their Cross Stitch the Rainbow thing they were doing. And of course the silks are all higgledy-piggledy. First time using Treenway silks. They are really really, really nice. Really, really nice. So I would love to finish this year and fully finish it and hang it in my dining room somewhere. Realistically, Brittany, I love you. I love you so much, but holy crap, you love fractional stitches. And I don't have a problem with fractional stitches, honestly. I think they're absolutely worth it. I think they look absolutely beautiful. But I'm going to be 42 in June, and I have not yet come to the terms with the fact that I need new glasses. This is totally not on Brittany. It is 100% on Julia. Anyway, do you want to see what I did? So here's my start. This is on a piece of 32 count limited edition linen from Color and Cotton. This was in Color and Cotton's very first Halloween box, which is the only one of theirs I participated in because I had the extra cash. And they gave a very generous piece of this linen, and so I just cut what I was going to need, and I am stitching this 2/2. And I like it. I like it a lot. So that is Year of the Dragon Sow, Tea Time Companion by Brittany of Ingleside Imaginarium. And I am almost finished with the first quarter of my Ink Circles mandala. I am hosting the second most magnificent Ink Circles round robin, and we are mailing our projects out for the first time at the end of March. I am in the fellowship of the Withywindle in the Old Forest. The round robin groups are, I've named them based on communities in Middle-earth. It's a Tolkien themed round robin this year because I can. So my group is doing 40 count linen or Verdal, Stitcher's Choice. I am stitching the Hamsa mandala, and I have switched up the colors a little bit. See if I can move. See, I'm going to move the needle minder over here. I'm going to try to just want to make sure that you can see everything. Here's where I got to. So I'm almost finished with my quarter of this, and I love it. I feel like it's not being done justice. So there's a variegated floss that I'm using. It's primarily inside the Hamsa itself. It is a variegated cotton in the colorway Elven Wood. It is from the now defunct Jodari Designs. It's a shame because she dyed such beautiful things, but she, got to take care of yourself first. So I think, yeah, the black is Anchor Black. I added the, this orange is something I added, and oh, can you see? There's it's hard to tell on camera. There's this dark green, and then there's a slightly lighter kind of dark sea foam. You can kind of see around that bit of orange there. And then this orange and the variegated. So I'm having a good time. And honestly, I think it is brilliant. The round robin idea is brilliant because as nice as this is, I don't want to stitch this 4 times. So in the springtime, I'm going to send mine across the pond to Helen, and then Nati is going to send me one of her elemental dragons, and it's going to be fun. So that's that. I did work on P-Roy, my New Year New Start. I worked on P-Roy a little bit, not as much as he deserves because he's so adorable. P-Roy is a Stacy Nash animal cracker. Adorable little slug. Feel another burp coming on, sorry. Excuse me. My partner Josh bought me the pattern and the flosses for Hanukkah. So I am stitching this on a 36 count linen in gold sand by XJU Designs. And the light color that's on his belly is really hard to see. But really I just brought his back down and stitched some of the spots, and then I started to put in some of the grass just to have all the colors in the piece and started so I can just pick where I want to pick up. What I probably should do when I have the mental bandwidth is just like outline everything, like stitch all of the outlines for everything, and then I can just fill it in. I think that's a good idea. Maybe I'll take my own advice. Probably not, but you never know. Okay. Gotta put things away. And then I had a surprise news start, a very small news start. Michelle Bendy started hosting Quaker Zooms again. And I, at the time, did not have a Quaker on the go. I am designing 3, but I don't have any whips. So I pulled out Quirky Quaker number 2, the little hedgehog. And I found the very last piece of this natural 32 count linen that I've been slowly tearing up and using for things. This is the last piece, and I am using Color and Cotton Mahogany, and this isn't like, how long have I had this in my stash? Like it's the old tag. So Color and Cotton Mahogany, 2/2 on 32 count. And this is what I got done in 2 hours. I really like how the variegation's looking. I was intentionally stitching up and down vertically. Generally, it is my practice to stitch horizontally, but I felt that it would probably look better. The hedgehog itself would look better if the stripes were vertical. So yeah, those are the whips. All right, I talked about that. I talked about that. Crap, I've been talking for almost 25 minutes, guys. Trying to be speedy. I participated in a swap back in, when did they get the idea to do it? I think it was in September or October. The Michelles of Long Distance Stitchers got the idea to host a swap called the Kit It Up swap, in that your swap partner, you have a look at their wish lists on you know, be it Etsy or 123 Stitch or Hobby House, wherever they have a Stitchy wish list, and pick a pattern that they have in their wish list and kit it up for them. And there were there were 3 tiers. You could do the sort of like the budget tier where you can shop your own, well, for all of them tiers actually, you can shop your own stash, or you could buy everything new. I bought everything new because my swap partner and I have different fabric count preferences and different floss preferences, and honestly I don't have a whole lot of I don't have full sets of anything other than DMC. My DMC stash isn't even a full set. It's just like 90% of the set. So I needed to buy everything. And Andrea spoiled the crap out of me. Andrea sent me this beautiful postcard with an otter on it, and I don't know how Andrea knew that I needed this little stitch marker with this little watering can with a flower on it. The seasonal affective disorder has been strong this year, and I can begin starting seedlings inside in March. And I've been focusing on my garden this year and its potential. So it was really apt, and Andrea couldn't have known, but the little watering can, Needle Niner, made me smile. Andrea was not aware, so I had clicked the box that I already had the chart. Andrea bought me a copy of the chart anyway. Love Letter to the Cross Stitch Nation by Heartstring Samplery. I love this chart. This is probably going to be my birthday start this year. And Andrea went through and subbed out all of the week's dye works for floss that I do use, and that was so kind of her. And she even wrote what they're subbing for. Like this would be week's dye works 1092, 12 grain from Classic Colorworks. So yeah, she indicated what they're subbing for, and she sent me some reusable floss drops. This one got broken, but that's okay. So it looks like, so this bit would hang on your ring, right? But you've got your main floss here, and I think if you have a little, like you stitch with it and you have a little bit left over, you can stick it over here. Very cool. I'm not sure who makes these floss drops. I know there's somebody on Etsy who makes some that Michelle Bendy has really liked. So maybe they're from them. So that's part of my palette. I am also planning to use the Skin Color Floss Pack from Almond M&Ms. And finally, she sent, and I feel so spoiled because Andrea sent me from her own stash a piece of 40 count linen from XJU Designs. I love XJU Designs. They are hands down my favorite fabric dyer. I have maybe 3 pieces of their fabric in my stash, not including this one, because it's really hard to get it from Hungary. And I just feel so special. And just wow, this is a big deal. Like if I were to send you some XJU Designs fabric, you would feel like you should feel loved, because that is how much I love XJU Designs fabric. This is rustic brown, and I love it. I don't know if I love it for this project though. I will do some floss tosses. I have a fat quarter of Zweigart Platinum 40 count burning a hole in my stash that I might use instead, but I'm going to do a floss toss and see what I can come up with. But this is wonderful. So having said that, I have 2 copies of this pattern now. It is 90 stitches wide by 77 high. It uses Classic Colorworks, DMC Etoile. It's charted with Weeks Dye Works. Obviously, I don't stitch with that. If you do, fine. If you have some in your stash, fine. If you just want to do it all DMC, go for it. I don't think there are any quarter stitches. I don't think there are any fractionals. So you could do this. You could do this on anything you wanted. Yeah, it's beautiful. So if you would like to stitch this, put the word love letter in your, the words, that's 2 words, love letter, in your comment, and I will do a drawing and I will send this to you. Usual rules apply. Please be a subscriber. Please be a grown-up. I will send this anywhere in the world. I don't want anyone to miss out. I think that's it. Don't say giveaway. Don't say win. Don't say prize. Be sneaky. All right. I need to remind myself that I'm doing that. I think when I see comments and love letter as a theme, I will remember, but so that was Happy Mail, and it was lovely Happy Mail. A little bit of housekeeping. If you are in the Philadelphia area, watch this space, because in March, I do not have a date yet. In March, I am going to be teaching a class, a knitting class, and we're going to be knitting the Pine Barrens cowl. So, yeah, if you're in the Philadelphia area, Montgomery County, yeah, watch this space, watch my business Instagram and the Ko-Fi, or the Ko-fi shop rather, for details on that. I do not have all of the details. I have asked that the class cost about $35. I don't know if we're going to do that including a copy of the pattern. I would imagine that you're going to have to purchase your yarn separately. So when I know the concrete specifics, I will let folks know. But yeah, if you would like to hang out at a yarn shop for a couple of hours with me talking about the Pine Barrens cowl, I would love to see you. The only personal knitting I have is this plain vanilla sock that I'm knitting. I don't even know what this yarn is. I don't even know what it is. Plain vanilla sock. I've just started the toe decreases. This project lives in the TV room / library. And when we watch stuff, I knit on it. That's the personal knitting. It's really sad. Professional knitting is pretty sad too. Let's be frank. Okay, plans for the rest of the month. So I am going to work on Mini Deer Creek. Hold on, it's right over there. Okay. Beginning on Sunday, this coming Sunday, I'm going to start working on Mini Deer Creek by Heaven and Earth Designs that I am stitching 2/1 tent stitch on 28 count Monaco. I am stitching this Extreme Cross Country. I'm starting with the black. So we'll see how much black I can get stitched in a week. After that, the following week, there's going to be 25 minutes a day on the gamer. And then I'm going to be working on my WIPGO pieces and the WIPGO, what are the projects? Pumpkins 3 by La Di Da and Bird Crush Club. I'm going to be filling in a new bird. So we'll see. For the Pumpkins 3, I'm going to be working on the border. So yeah, in a couple of weeks, you'll see how successful that was. That's all the crafty stuff. Do you want to talk about some books real quick? I have 3. Well, I have 2 here with me. The third one is back at the library. I read probably about 80%. It's not really the sort of book that you read front to back. Story's Guide to Raising Chickens. Those of you who are interested in husbandry and farming and poultry probably are familiar with the Story's Guide series. I read Story's Guide to Raising Chickens, and it was very informative. I like it very much, and it also taught me that I am not ready to have backyard chickens right now. I have too much going on in my life, and the chickens would be my sole responsibility. I'm the one who really wants them, so I will be doing all the heavy lifting with the chickens. I don't have the bandwidth right now. And I really am grateful for this book for being so thorough, but readable, to really give me a good idea of what I can expect in terms of having chickens. And yeah, I just coming to that realization that it's not in the cards it's not one day, probably not this year. So I can hear my partner stomping up the basement steps. There he is. I just finished reading this novel by S.A. Cosby. Razor Blade Tears. Last month, I was discussing his most recent book, All the Sinners Bleed. During Black History Month, I like to focus on Black authors if I can. S.A. Cosby is rapidly becoming a favorite of mine. If you like mysteries, if you like thrillers, you will probably like S.A. Cosby. This book is rough. My partner's going to read it as soon as he's finished the book that he's reading. But all you need to know is I came up, I finished this book and I walked up to him and I said, "Are you ready for the bloody vengeance?" This story is about a Black father and a white father avenging the deaths of their dead gay sons. And just dealing with the fact that they were... Hello, Josh.
I just like crashing your FlossTube sometimes so people remember I'm here. Our two main characters are homophobic, extremely homophobic, and this book does not let them off the hook. They are getting better. They are working on themselves, but there's no, "Oh, it's all better now, it's okay," because the people in their lives who could have absolved them and forgiven them were murdered. And these dads, I'm not explaining it well. It's a journey in addition to the bloody vengeance. What do I want to say? There. Hey, Pippin. It's Pippin. Fool of a took. I know. So let's see. There's homophobic slurs. There's a very frank discussion of a hate crime. There is frank discussions of murder and disposing of bodies and evidence. The ethnic slur that begins with N is used in this book. The homophobic slur that begins with F is used in this book. Trying to think. Flashbacks of parents abusing their kids for being gay is in this book. But there's hope. S.A. Cosby always leaves a little tiny ember of hope at the end of everything. It's not perfect. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked one of the characters in spite of myself. And I had fun. You know, if you like that sort of thing. So, yeah. I would recommend it. And then I haven't read this one recently. This is a favorite of mine that I wanted to share with you. This is a book of poems called Black Girl Call Home by Jasmine Mans, who is a poet and spoken word performer and business owner out of Newark, New Jersey. This is her, this won an award, I forget which one. It's having a reprinting with a little embossed award winner, you know, kind of, you know, like if something wins the Hugo or the Nebula or the Caldecott, they put a little medal on the book. Jasmine Mans went out of her way to make this book as accessible as possible. I saw it for sale at Target. It was probably for sale at all your big box bookstores. I purchased this from my local independent Black-owned bookstore, which Uncle Bobby's Books in Germantown, Pennsylvania. It's about 3 years old now. And I love it. If you like poetry, if you like modern poetry, I think you should read it. I actually have selected a couple here that I'm going to read for you. This is written by a Black woman for Black women. I am neither a woman nor am I Black. So a lot of it, I don't feel I have the right to read out loud to you. I've chosen a couple at the beginning that I feel have a very universal, feel to them, that resonated with me on a personal level for sure. I highly, highly recommend, I'm going to put the link in the description below to a video of Jasmine. There's no table of contents. Okay. I'm gonna find it. Birmingham. About the church bombing in the 60s of the Black church that was bombed in Birmingham, Alabama, and the 4 little girls died. Birmingham is a poem, and the speaker of the poem is one of the little girls. It is very powerful. I link below of Jasmine reciting it. A little birdie, and by a little birdie I mean Jasmine's Instagram account, told me that there is another volume of poetry coming soon-ish, so I'm psyched. So, okay, 2 poems. These are heavy poems, but I hope you like them. This one is called Because I Am a Woman Now. Nana may have cancer, and I'm looking for my mother to tell me that it'll be okay, that there's no such thing as cancer, that Nana is stronger than cancer, that cancer has no place in our family or in her body, that we know prayer's stronger than cancer. But she won't say these things to me because I am a woman now. So she says, we'll see. We don't know, but we'll see. This one is called The Repast, Our Own Restaurant. I have been in this church basement in this poem, except it was a synagogue social hall. Yeah, The Repast, Our Own Restaurant. The women will bring macaroni and cheese to the funeral, fried chicken, peach cobbler, potato salad, and dinner rolls that come wholesale at Costco. A mourning family shouldn't have to cook for themselves.
You never let a mother in sorrow fix her own plate. You make her a plate first. Give her extra gravy on her mashed potatoes and chicken. Stack her up a real good plate that juices onto her hands, a plate that sogs from the collards. Turn the church basement into a Black Mama's restaurant. Let the children run, scrambling themselves between the tables. Make the men bring the extra folding chairs from the storage closet and tell Auntie that the Pepsis are deep, deep in the cooler. Wait on her. Give her a side of rum cake. Take good care of her like she be your favorite customer. So that's Jasmine Mans. That's all I got for you today, friends. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that you're taking good care of yourself. I hope that you don't forget about Palestine. Yeah. All right. I'll see you later, friends. Catch you on the flip side.